my brother-in-law who lives outside of Chicago, he and I drove our motorcycles up to Lake Geneva. The family followed us behind in the cars, and then we just kind of bumped around Lake Geneva, and then we drove our motorcycles back.
Oh, how fun.
It was a lot of fun. It was gorgeous.
Yeah, that's what you do.
Well, we're back on the
Oh, we're
air.
back on the air.
I know. Tell everybody we're back on the
He
air.
drove his motorcycle. I followed in the car behind
Oh,
him.
okay. I was like, wow, go girl.
Laura said that it was a
What's
cupcake
your
moment.
motorcycle? Is it a-
I'm sorry, what?
I
What's your
had
motorcycle
I had
called,
not
or
plugged everything in properly.
It's a Ducati.
Shane says good.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's their version of the
Not my cupcake.
They just says moist.
Yeah, Ducati, yeah, so that's a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's very nice. He's not allowed to go very fast on it.
Well, not that I'm not allowed, I just don't. But I appreciate that there's a rule there.
Later on, by the way, we will tell you the
Doesn't sound
story
like he
about
actually-
the Hickmans and scooters.
And scooters, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, but we're back up.
But we're back up, we're
Excellent.
back running, we're back on the air. That's all I care.
All right.
All right, you approach the town, you're coming up, and in fact, you can steer toward the temple that is at the top of the hill. You're coming in, and the ship is actually fairly quiet, and you're not really attracting a lot of attention at this point, as the sun has gone down, and there's just not a lot of light reflecting off of you. What would you like to do?
Dock. Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There is in fact a place at the very top where of this of the roof line there. It's reinforced here with stone buttresses, and it does look like a place you can tie off here.
So we float next to it, or we land on it?
You float next to it.
Float next to it.
All right.
You will need to tie off.
All right, let's tie off.
Sure, I'll get to tying off because everyone else has a job and I don't.
That's true.
You know how to make
Deja wants to know.
Do I know how to make
if
a
ships
knot?
noise.
Well, I know how to make a knot. Technically,
So,
Okay, so once
Is
we
it a
get
good
up to
knot?
the, once we get up to the dock,
you
I'll
know.
jump over and help him tie the
Sure.
knots.
and they do have a tendency to creak and make wooden noises in the air. This one in particular does make a considerable amount of noise because like parts of it are falling off. But you managed to get actually tied off to the top of the temple
Nice.
here.
All right, so now
And
we're
have
here.
not, and have, it's the temple of the sky. It's up on the hill called Molly's Mole, and you have managed to get here without attracting a great deal of attention as yet.
Well, we want to square away the sails.
Okay?
Sure. And I would imagine that even a modicum of attention will quickly turn into a wildfire of attention.
Is there an anchor?
I would assume.
Do we need to drop an anchor?
Well, I think that's just what the tying off does. Because no, I don't think there's an anchor unless we want to anchor into
Well,
someone's house.
there is
below
in
us.
fact, an anchor, and you can drop it if you want, but it will probably go through the roof.
Yeah, let's not-
If you're going to go to the library, that might be a good time.
Sure. Now, obviously, I don't know Haven, but my character does. Is there a library in Haven?
There is in fact a library in Haven. Do you have a map of Haven?
Don't think we have a map.
Not a close
Well,
up.
I feel like inside the air temple there should be.
Some kind of text or.
I have a map.
I have a map!
Ah, I've got a map.
Huh.
Well, in fact, there is the Temple of the Sky. Your characters who lived here will have information. And by the way, that's one of the things that the app is going to do for us in game, is that it will give you as players character knowledge without having to interrupt the game or come out of the game at all. So you'd actually, at this point, would probably check the app to see what you know about the town.
Very cool. Yeah.
Which is nice because then you get to tell everybody what
Yeah,
you
that's
learn, and you look very smart.
I'm very informed. Or,
There is, but for those of you who have lived here, you know that there is the academy.
yeah, I was going to say the academy is right next to the temple.
The academy is down the stairs, down the hill from where the temple stands. The academy is run by the Baron here and is used as a receptacle of for knowledge instruction, and most particularly for the recovery of books. Admittance to the academy, though, can be sometimes something of a problem, since the Barn are very jealous about guarding the things that they have collected about the history of and knowledge in Avarox, especially since most of those items are extremely old and fragile.
Well, if only we had some bargaining chip, some ancient artifact of ancient lore.
I am going to use my thieves' tools, and I'm going to open the door,
You-
sneak
yeah,
through,
you're
and
gonna-
open a window for you guys to come in.
You also
Oh, there-
know,
there's that.
because you have been here in town, you also know that the town is essentially run by 3 families, kind of in rotation, depending on who has the upper hand between the 3 families.
Sure.
One is the Western family of House Western. They're very closely tied to the guilds in the town, okay? And they have most of the craft and skill people under their thumb in the town. If you're looking to get something fixed, they're probably who you need to deal with. There's House Garland. They are the current ruling house in Haven. And they have their residence in Haven House, which is where the current leaders of the town usually take up residence. It was part of the old plantation that used to be here, and actually about the only part that survived. They believe that they are the descendants of Imperials in the old days, and that they have a right to rule.
A better sort of person.
Yes, they have. It's the Baron and the Baroness, and they have a ne'er-do-well son, actually, who's rather infamous in the town.
We know his name.
Yes, his name is Perseverus Garland, and he Perseverus. Perseverus Garland, yes. He is thought of as the squire, and he rather likes to make himself merry. And then there is the House Tyrell, who is run by the old Count, Petros Tyrell, whom nobody ever sees anymore, but he rules with an iron fist, apparently, through his son, Amsix Tyrell, and his wife, Meredith Tyrell, or the Viscountess Meredith Tyrell. These are grand titles, by the way, which have been claimed by these people, but really don't necessarily have any basis other than that.
Sure. All right. So,
Which house are you in?
well, I'm of course noble, but mine is a minor house, the house of Francis.
So which one is that along?
Which one? That's a good question. What? I don't know. Which one does mine align with? Just based on those descriptions.
Based on those descriptions, which house do you think would?
Well,
most-
Garland kind of shouts out to my sensibilities and my upbringing. So
So it's probably House Western.
is that what it is? Okay. All right. There you go.
Actually, I do believe that you were aligned with House Garland. Yes, you were aligned with House Garland
Okay.
for a time.
For a time.
For a time.
There's been a schism.
Well, there was that one incident. That, yeah.
Only one?
Oh, only one. Yeah.
Well-
that they know.
Is that how you ended up being arrested?
No, that was a trumped up charge. It had nothing to do with me and the magistrate's wife. Had absolutely nothing to do with that.
No, actually, it had something to do with House Tyro's wife, but that's...
I'm trying to keep that on the
Yeah,
down
okay,
low.
sorry. You're just trying to be discreet, so yeah, I understand. Yes.
But anyway, okay, so ever keeping an eye out for the riot.
The riot,
yeah.
yes.
How are we doing here? Are we? Are you? I don't think we should all leave the ship. I think like.
Well, we do have at least one severely damaged person down below.
Sure.
Well, I'll stay with the ship.
Sure. And I don't mind staying with the ship as well. I mean, you want to go?
You guys
I'm
who
from
are from
Haven,
here should
so-
go into Haven.
What if we just, I don't know, is there a way to remove the drop of silk that we put in there? Because then there's no way for it to go.
Then I don't know if it would float anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we have more.
Well, I certainly point out right down there, that building. That's the academy.
All right,
well,
let's go to the academy.
right.
We both know where it is. I take out my thieves' tools.
Mm-hmm.
I quietly break in, let him in through a back window.
You're breaking into the academy.
I am.
Excellent.
Does your common sense tell you that's a good thing to do?
It's after dark. The
It's
librarian
after
went
dark.
home.
They're going to be closed. Why should we bother them or wake anybody up? We should just go ahead and break in and take their books.
Well, we're not going to steal anything. We're just going to read it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Don't steal anything.
You're looking at me? You're looking at me?
All right.
What? I haven't stolen anything.
Okay, let's go find the librarian and we'll knock on her
Perhaps
door.
for virtue of a maid.
She's probably a single cat lady, so she'll be out.
It's a little more complicated than that.
Literally a cat lady, because they're
Because
brown.
Yeah,
they're barong.
Literally. Anyway, all right, lead the way.
There's a long set of stone stairs that leads down from the Temple of the Sky down into the town itself. There are, the academy is at the base of these stairs, so just to your left as you come down down off of the hill. There are lamplighters that are moving down the street to provide illumination down the main road of and around the main square here in Haven. Although most places are boarded up. It's pretty much after hours for these people, and everybody's retired. The academy itself is dark, and it's not a huge building, but it is a relatively modern construction. It has a lot of the ornate barong fixtures around it that make it distinctively have this barong feel. But it is dark, and the main doors into it are barred.
So, if memory serves, this window over here should be just adjacent to the main reading room. All the way right here.
Why do we always do everything behind,
It's
What
just
do you propose?
right? Knock.
part of
All right, we're not. Boom, boom, boom.
You do, in fact, make considerable noise.
The opportunity to be a Russell guy.
I mean, you guys are confusing me. Do this, do that. I'm very impulsive.
I can see that.
Well, impulsively bang on that door.
Definitely. Time for the dice.
All right. So we're knocking on the door now? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
All right.
Despite your best advice, you knock on the door. You hear the echoing of the booming knock that's resounding in the large building beyond.
All right. And we wait.
You know, and you wait, and eventually someone does come to the door. And they open the door, and it is an enormous bar.
All right.
Yes.
Sorry for the intrusion, sir. But we are knowledge seekers.
Knowledge seeker.
Indeed.
What knowledge do you seek?
We seek knowledge about the function and operation of an aeroship.
Why would you want to know about an aeroship?
Well, as it so happens,
We're writing a book.
we're writing a book about one. And I know it's in the middle of the night, and why would we want information about writing a book in the middle of the night?
Look, I'm gonna giggle a little and flip my hair,
It's a
and I'm gonna use I've got something, I don't know my glasses.
Is this a halfling trying to seduce a barong?
No, not seduced, but I've got,
She has an 18 charisma.
Sure.
So something ridiculous,
Yeah.
16.
Well, I mean, yeah, we have the two most charismatic people in front of this barong right now, absolutely. But
we're on
I
a
feel like we're writing
we're
a
on
book
a
is
tight
very-
schedule, we're on our way to Jerry Con, and tonight's the only night that we can do the research, Gary Con.
Ah. A work of fiction.
Yes.
well, I feel like we're trying to apply something to more practical application.
You seek knowledge of the operation of aeroships.
Yeah, look, we all know that there was an aeroship over Haven not too long ago. We all know that, all right?
It is-
Yeah, that's not a mystery. We're trying to corner the market on instruction manual. In the event that aeroships really have made a manifestation over
Ordering
Everest.
the market, you wish to purchase the book.
No. We just need to glean knowledge from the book. You keep the book. I understand that you don't want to part with the book, and I don't want to take the
going
book.
to copy the book.
Yeah.
Take notes.
The dissemination of knowledge should be a noble pursuit. Would you agree?
Yes. The pursuit of knowledge is a noble pursuit. Come this way. He opens the door.
All right.
He brings you in. The floors are beautifully polished, and there are fine columns that are also carefully painted. He walks you back into a large room, into a room that is lined with books, ancient books, each of which is held back behind a latticework of iron and carefully locked. There's a table in the center of the room, and there are chairs around it. He gestures you to sit at the table.
Sit at the table. Yeah.
I sit down.
He moves slowly and deliberately, carefully over to the secured racks of books. And he pulls from his robes this great ring of keys. Begins fingering through them. He finds the right key, places it in the lock, carefully turning and opening the lock, and swings the doors open. He searches the titles for a moment, and then he finds a single small volume. It looks terribly worn. Thank you.
Yeah.
It looks terribly worn and ancient. The pages are flimsy and dry. Very carefully brings it over to you, holding the book actually in the folds of his robes, and sets it carefully down on the table. it says on the cover, and it's clearly read in old script. It says, "It is the art and method of aeroship flight
Ooh.
Eureka.
by Ignatius Nimbus." Ignatius Nimbus.
Fantastic.
And he says to you, take great care with these pages. They are the last of their kind.
Now, I seem to have misplaced my scribe kit in my travels. Would you have one? And some parchment or vellum that I could use.
How do you expect to write a book with no writing implements?
It's incongruous. I completely understand.
I have eidetic memory. I'm just gonna say that I do.
Indeed, a halfling with eidetic memory.
Might I make purchase of some writing materials?
Yes, I'll be happy to return with them.
Wonderful.
Please wait here.
Of course. I guess let's start working. Start reading.
He leaves the room, closes the door quietly behind him.
We're writing a book. Are you serious? That's the excuse? He's gonna see
It
the
got
ship.
us in there.
He's gonna see the ship tomorrow.
Stop wasting time. Read. Read and remember.
Ah, yes, the title page says that it is translated from an unpublished manuscript by, in fact, Ignatius Nimbus, who was the sky master of a ship apparently called the Drake's Bane.
You know what our ship is called?
Isn't it the harp?
I believe it is called the Harp.
Yeah. All right. So Drake's Bane.
He was the captain of the Drake's Bane, or at least he served aboard the Drake's Bane. He was probably master of the vessel, and apparently something of an established aeronaut, quite well versed in aeronauts. And you see the title in each of the different sections of the book, and it begins to describe each of the sections of the ship and the rigging. And more particularly, you discover that there is an entire section on sylph, aether, and harp, and its operation. As you begin to read this section, the door opens behind you.
The door was behind us, right?
I looked to see. I looked to see who's in the doorway.
It's an assassin, but yeah, I looked as well.
Have you found what you're looking for?
I believe we have. This is a very illuminating tone.
Is it the same guy?
It is not. It is in fact a human.
I thought there was a different accent there. Why do you ask?
It seems that we have things that you need, and you have things that we need. It occurred to me that perhaps a little mutual agreement would be in order.
Sure.
We can talk about it.
What's the quid pro quo? What do you want? What do we want? Let's start with you.
I can provide you support. I can provide you a haven, as the name implies. I can provide you with supplies. Perhaps even help from time to time.
Sure.
What do you require from us?
Oh, I think the occasional use of your ship.
For what purpose?
Do you know who this guy is?
Well, I was going to ask that question in just a second, but yeah, it's possible. But okay, let's ask that question now. Sure. Do I know who this guy is? Recognize him?
Well, as he steps forward, and you can see him better in the lamplight.
And I'll even take a lamp and just hold it up to eliminate the shadows about his person.
Yes, this is the Baron Keelan Garland.
Oh, the Baron. Yeah, I know those guys.
The himself.
Yeah.
Himself.
Yes.
Baron Garland. What a delight to see you.
Is he
Yes,
gonna
it's
leave?
been
Yeah.
almost long enough.
Well, I'm sure we can overlook past indiscretions. We've both been on either side of agreement and disagreement.
I'll not pretend that, in fact, certain things wash away a number of sins.
Well, absolutely. Necessity makes the strangest and best of bedfellows, one says.
You should probably not bring up bedfellows.
True. Poor choice of words. But regardless, have you seen my father of late? How is he?
Well, I haven't seen him of late,
Well, okay.
but people rarely visit those places.
I don't know what that means. Out of character.
Probably a crypt
No, probably a dungeon.
dungeon.
Oh, who knows? I don't know.
I'm sorry, are you holding my father in custody?
I feel badly that your father has run afoul of the law.
Well, what has he done?
Well, he had a son. I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding.
Oh, it
I'm
absolutely
sure it
is.
will be cleared up shortly.
Well, I'm sure it is, and I can't wait to embrace my father in a warm, patronly hug, and that's going to happen really soon. Like within the next hour, I suspect.
It could be.
But let's start right there. So, yeah, let's get my father here, and then we can continue to have this wonderful conversation about how we can mutually help each other.
No.
Okay, it's time to go.
I'm gone. I took the book the minute you guys started talking.
So I
and I'm
seriously
out
turn
the door.
around and you're gone.
You turn around and I'm gone.
And where have you gone?
Back to the boat.
How did you get out of here?
I assume a window.
I snuck out in the shadows.
You snuck out in the shadows? Well, let's see how well that worked for you, shall we?
So I turn around and I realize that I'm alone. I thought I had somebody behind me this whole time.
Yes. Had your back. Had your back, yes they did.
Well, Lord Garland,
15.
what do we do about this?
What did you roll?
15.
Well, you haven't gotten out of the building, but you have slipped away.
Remember the cats. Okay.
Well, Lord Garland, it was wonderful seeing you again. I think I will take my leave of you.
Oh, I think not. We have much to catch up with. And he calls for the guards.
Sure, I throw the lamp through the nearest window.
Fine. I walk
You
back
throw
to
a
the
lamp?
No, you're fine, you're fine. I throw the lamp that I'm holding up,
Yes.
and I throw it through the nearest window.
Well, let's roll and see how well that works.
Okay.
Celebrating.
You keep getting captured.
Uh,
Oh,
And
I rolled a 2.
you throw the lamp. And the lamp does, in fact, crash against the window, falling inside the room. And starting a fire.
Well, I'll go put it out, but I'll rip down the curtain and start putting it out. I don't want to
Well,
burn the
curtains are
lamp.
kind of starting to burn right
Yeah.
now. It's moving pretty quickly, especially in a room that is full of old, dried bush.
At least the book we need isn't in the room.
Yeah. All I can do is try and put it out.
These
Alexandria
things
will
about
burn.
agriculture, we don't need those.
All I can do is try and pull it out.
Well,
Yeah.
somehow, disease and the treatment of illness. No, we got a book. We don't want it.
Here we are.
Here we are, and the fire
They don't have a
is.
fire suppression system in here?
strangely, in an ancient land with, no, they don't have a fire suppression. There's no halon gas flooding into the room.
No,
There's no sprinkler system that's going to be
It was
engaged.
either some mad attempt to make my escape, or he's going to take me into custody and hold me as a hostage.
Well, the
to
flame
leverage
is
against
burnt. The flames
whole
are
deal.
starting to burn. The barong are rushing into the room. They've got buckets of sand that they are starting to throw, and the flames are moving pretty quickly here, and the room is starting to catch, but the barong are madly fighting it. What do you do?
In the
I
confusion.
beckon you from the shadows.
Yeah, in the
This way.
confusion. Try and.
Let's see how well that works. Roll for me, please.
Alright, should I? Okay, that was much better. That's a 17 this time.
Excellent. You do manage to slip out in the confusion and join the halfling.
I'm a human.
I'm sorry. You
I'm
join the shorter human.
Sure.
Yes. You join the shorter human, and you are in the back part of the academy. Cries and flames are leaping, and cries and shouting for help. The guards have also joined in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Lord Garland is backing away from the flames.
Let's get out of here.
Let me know when on the ship we become aware of fire in the academy.
Well, actually, you can see it pretty clearly from the deck.
We're casting off.
Hey! Hey!
Sorry.
That's critical. We'll catch up. I don't know how we're going to catch up with them, but we'll catch up with them later.
What are you going to do?
Well, we're trying to make our escape, our exit from the building.
Okay, there is a window here. It is locked. How are you going to do this?
Well,
I use my thieves' tools.
Okay, how do you do with that? Roll a dice.
18.
Nicely done. You open the window. You both manage to leap out through the open window at the base of the hill, and you look up the staircase, and you can see, in fact, that the ship is starting to move.
I shake my hand.
Yeah,
Darn you!
let's go that way.
You're running up the stairs toward the temple of the sky. Behind you, the flames are leaping. You can be seen through the windows of the academy. More cries, more help. People are flooding out into the streets.
Are you going to do anything to help us?
I don't know. I didn't even know the ship was moving. I assume we'll get to me in a minute.
So, I think the big question is: do we make it in time, or is it a heroic leap from the dock to the ship as the ever-widening expanse is growing?
No, I think the ship has pretty much gotten away from that point, but you
Okay.
can't. They can drag lines if you want to try that.
Sure. Throw us a line.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I'll tie off a couple lines and throw them down.
All right.
sure.
The ship is moving away as the moon comes up, and in the landscape they can actually see the crowd can see the ship now silhouetted against the sky.
Now, oh, sorry.
You apparently have once again gained the attention of the town. Yes. But there are lines dragging from down the sides of the ship, and they're dragging along the ground. What do you do?
We're in.
You try and grab them.
Well, yeah, we're gonna try and lay hold of them and climb them.
Okay, that would be an athletic move, dexterity, and strength, or strength.
On second thought, I'm just gonna tie one around my waist.
Okay.
So, and then trust somebody to pull me up.
I'm really strong.
So yeah, I'm just gonna grab one and tie a secure knot around my waist.
How did you do with that?
What's that?
How'd you do?
I got a 19 on that one.
Okay.
So, my strength is so meager. There's no way I'm climbing this rope.
How'd you do?
Hi.
That's not good. You stumble, trip, and fall as the line is dragging along the ground, but you may be able to grab the line on the ground.
I try and grab the line on the ground.
Okay, you grab the line on the ground, it's dragging you across the ground.
Ouch.
You're going to take some damage
I
from
mean,
that.
I'm being drugged as well because I'm not climbing. So,
Is
You
it
could
gonna
maybe
help
run
you?
along.
But we know what
You
to do.
take 2 points of damage from that, bouncing along the ground.
How
and
much?
2 points along the ground in the rocks. Both of them are pretty much bouncing along the ground at this point.
sure
Yeah,
that.
well, then we'll go up a little bit.
Okay, you'll lift up just a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. All right, you pull on the planes.
And I'm gonna yell down to her to tie off.
Okay. Ties off.
Then we go up.
You go up, you move up just a little bit, the ship is moving off. The townspeople are crying out and shouting and pointing at you, of course, because once again, you...
Well, we're never coming back to Haven.
What? We can still make this work.
Dude, there's no way. We came to town, burned the library down in the middle of the night.
Look,
The offense stole a book.
the offense to the academy, it is what it is, but come on, I was going to be taken hostage.
We're not going back to
I was
Haven.
going to be taken hostage.
You know what we're gonna say? We're here all week, folks.
Yeah, Deja says you guys are fishing.
Okay, we'll haul them both up.
Well, you're going to need, the ship is moving away, and you are now under sail. I'm assuming you're not just drifting? Or are you drifting?
We can drift, I guess.
Yeah, let's just drift.
Okay, you're essentially drifting
But-
along.
But we are insulated from the ground. at this
Remember the
point.
winds are pushing offshore, so we can't get
Yes,
very
but you're
long.
moving off toward the jungle, and there's going to be a canopy you're going to have to deal
Oh,
with
that's gonna
here.
hurt.
Well,
That's gonna
you
save
guys
Let's go
pull them up
up.
for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh, I
start
assume.
climbing.
Yeah, I assume we were pulled up by this point.
All right, let's see how that works.
So this is me and the ogre here.
Okay,
Oh, God.
Ogre.
okay.
And we're making strength, I assume.
Yes, please.
I don't need that
14 and is that a 6 or 8? 11.
The Kendra comes up pretty readily, excuse me, the halfling comes up pretty readily.
much. Human.
They're
Kendra.
both human.
Kendra comes up. The halfling comes up pretty quickly because they are, I'm sorry, these are human, you're not a halfling.
No, I'm a human. But I'm a small human.
But you're a small human, you managed to come up pretty quickly. The bard does manage to get up, however. It took a little bit more effort and time to do so, but you did get them up. The ship is now drifting to the southwest,
They saved the book.
but at least you saved the book.
Yeah, we got the book.
We want to head for Kron.
Burned down.
I know. Well, you just never know what's going to happen here
So,
with these people.
At one point, I'm confident we can salvage this.
Deja
Plus, they
says-
have my dad.
Love how everywhere they go, chaos
Does Dave
follows.
have your dad, or is he just in prison?
Well,
Okay.
he's in prison out of spite.
Well,
He's
you
in
are-
a dungeon somewhere, apparently.
He was
As I'm just
apparently in the
finding out.
dungeon before we burned down the library. I doubt he's getting it out after.
Well, yeah, but we have the opportunity to. Everyone has the opportunity to get what they want.
Dude,
Can I
it
just-
looks like you purposefully burned down the library.
I would just like to mention I did not start the fire.
You threw an oil lamp against the wall in the book room.
Window.
I don't know how that could be misinterpreted.
And you didn't start the fire.
Let me worry about that. That's my problem, all right?
You're right, we're heading for
I will
Kron.
own that.
Well, you'll need to set sail and make that work. It's going to be
Okay.
difficult. This boat is starting to come apart.
Mm. We're gonna have to make repairs.
Make this work.
Well, we'll try our best.
Read the book. Do you have any kind of spell that might contain the boat?
And so here in the evenings, yes, it is always burning. Yes, thank you, Deja.
Yeah.
We didn't start the fire. So with the moon rising and into the clearing skies, you do manage to set sail and are starting to move across the landscape. The hull is creaking and shaking, and pieces are starting to come off of the ship. Something is going to need to be done to get this to stay together. But at least you're back on board.
Well, hey, I'm a crafter.
You are a crafter.
I'm a
You should be able to be of considerable help in
I'll
this.
make myself busy.
And that will be all for this evening, folks, because we have run late tonight. I do want to apologize to everybody out there. Apparently, I had once again not managed to plug my computer in, and I ran out of battery again.
Oh, this is so
You know, it's a good thing I'm not IT.
Step one, make plans. Step two, forget step one.
That's good, yes. So, yes, thank you, everybody. That was fun this evening.
Thank you all so very much.
Enjoyed the game. You want to turn your camera
Oh,
around
okay.
there? Sweet.
How does this happen?
Well, you know, at least you have. I think it's. What's that something? I think it's reasonable to assume that you will be remembered in Haven. So your next trip back should be a memorable one. So anyway, thank you everybody. Thanks for coming and playing with me tonight and putting up with me and all my nonsense. And next week, I'm sure things are going to go just great for everybody. And thanks to everybody out there who's joined us here on the stream this evening. Yes?
Yes.
And we are continuing to build this amazing world and get it ready for everybody. And thanks to everybody who came tonight to play the game with us. And anything
Thanks
else?
for everyone who came here tonight to run the game for us.
And thank you, yes, thank you. Is there anything else, Laura, you want to say before we're finished for the evening?
No, but we will see you here, same.
Bat time, same bat channel.
channel.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
okay.
we saw Batman. It was great, incidentally, if you haven't seen it,
The Batman.
The Batman. It was really good.
Yeah,
Very grown up. Do not take the kids.
Okay.
yeah.
But enjoyable. It was truly a Batman movie.
Very cool.
And in the meantime, we're all just going to keep making up good, fun stuff here. I guess there's a click, like, subscribe that I'm supposed to say.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody does. Everybody says that.
So please do.
So please do.
And we
we'll
love comments. We love hearing from you.
We do. We love hearing from you. And a special thanks to everybody who is on the chat online and for your great comments this evening. And with that, I guess we're finished for tonight. And for all our Sky Raiders that are out there, to the winds, Buccaneers, to the storm, and we'll see everybody here again next week.
Night.
Good night, everybody.